Hello Aries, Elsie here to do your reading for the week ahead. Aries, we're going to start with the wisdom of the oracle. We're going to pull an oracle for the overall month, and then we're going to talk about it by throwing down some psychic tarot. Then we'll let Charlie take over from there. All right, here we go. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. If you're brand new and you're just clicking here for the first time, welcome to the Aries tribe. Even if you're a cross-watcher, yep, welcome, always. Always, always. Get me in the comments. You guys know I like to play in the comments. I read them all. I'm a little bit behind at present, but that's okay. I like to go through them when I have some leisure time. All right, here we go. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What's going on here? We've got a new life, Aries. December is the opening to your new life. We've got there and now. Here and now. Sorry, not there. Here. Here and now, you're right where you should be. Look at that. The past and the future, you're on the right path. You're right in the middle. Yep, you're on the way. So we have a new life for the month of December. We have card number 39. That breaks down to a 12. So yeah, I feel like the new life does start in December. 1 and 2 also breaks down to a 3, which can be something to do with partnership or reunions. For sure. I mean, that's no big revelation. We're in the month of December. We're probably going to see people we haven't seen in a while, right? Reunion type energy, energy of partnerships. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm on your team, you know, that kind of thing. The new life begins. I believe it begins because you will it. We've got purple on these cards here, and the purple is the... It's the third eye. Pink is the crown chakra. A new life. Purple is the crown chakra. All right. What else do we need here? What else do we have for Aries? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the week ahead. 1, 2, 3. Bottom of the deck, we have Passion Ignited. Ooh. All right. What do we got here? Oh, okay. So the sacral chakra actually showed up in the Taurus reading. So in the exact same spot, if you want to go take a look at that. If you're looking at a Taurus, or maybe you are a Taurus, we have prosperity begins, which is the Ace of Pentacles, and we have material and spiritual prosperity. Well, somebody has shaken the sacral chakra free and is now believing in themselves. They now have the motivation to move forward. They now have the willpower or the confidence to be able to make things happen in their lives. That's why we have the new life here. And I feel like it says prosperity begins, but I do feel that you will prosper through this year is what I feel. Prosperity begins because you will it. We have card number 12, which is the owls. It feels like what has rocked the sacral chakra for you is something that you've learned. There is some sort of information that you've learned or come across. It could be about the higher self, but it also could be about some sort of an ending. The owls are also about death, right? Which is transformation, which is something ended so something could begin. And I believe the thing that's beginning is in December. Yeah. It is about something that's growing, and that's how I see the 3s. Something that's growing. Something that's not quite the 2, and it's not yet the 4, right? It's growing. So it feels like the 3 tells me that somebody is either growing in knowledge, or because they've had an ending, they're growing. We have the 7 of diamonds in the bottom right hand corner, which is the 7 of pentacles, which tells me someone's been waiting a while for this to happen, or waiting a while for the ending to come. The 1 and 2 could be about a 3, right? 1 and 2 is 3. Yeah, I see it as maybe partnership or reunion, or it's time to go. It's time to explore the rest of my life. Okay, I'm just going to say 1 and 2 is 3, and then we have a 7, and then we have card number 37. Just saying. Yeah, there are serendipities and signs and symbols that are coming up that you just can't dispel. You can't just say, oh, that was this. This is the reason why it worked that way. It's doing this for a reason. It's sending messages, right? I would say that if you're going to do any Googling tonight, that maybe you need to Google 3737, or just number 37. Okay, so prosperity begins. It feels as like it starts and then it stops immediately. Somebody bites you, you get bit by something. It feels like something goes wrong, you get cheated on, or something begins and then it ends immediately. It's like somebody leaves immediately. Prosperity begins is the Ace of Pentacles, and so you decide that you're going to invest or grow something somewhere, but it doesn't work out. Because the Queen of Wands is on the bottom right-hand corner, and she's going to go rogue whenever she wants to. I feel like you meet somebody who just doesn't fall into your ideal of who you thought they were. Somebody who does their own thing, goes rogue, doesn't listen to you, doesn't take your advice. Somebody who's just going to do their own thing when they want to do it. This person, I think, eventually ends up hurting you. You want it to grow something, but they end up being a little bit too... more concerned about themselves than they are about you. They're not necessarily thinking in a partnership, is what I want to say. You're thinking about sharing, you're thinking about the partnership, but they're not. They're basically thinking, they're wondering, they're looking for a partner based on what that partner can provide for them in terms of material things, in terms of, they look at it as you're providing something for them. Material and spiritual prosperity is in divine timing here. It feels like there is going to be some sort of reciprocity that is going to be given to you. It could be in financials. It doesn't have to be, but I feel like there is something good coming to you is what I want to say. There's something good coming to you, and it could be about finances and spiritual things. It says material and spiritual prosperity. It feels like if you do get blessed with a bunch of money, I feel like you give it to others, or your life is blessed because you're sharing. That's what I want to say, because the 6 of Pentacles. I feel like when divine timing comes, that's when you're going to have the new start. That you've been materially blessed, and now you wish to be spiritually blessed. But I think that's all in divine timing is what I want to say. Bottom of the deck, we do have the mice. Oof. Yeah, I just kind of want to pull this in here because it feels like what you didn't realize, or maybe you weren't willing to see, is that this person wasn't the best connection for you. That it was already in lack before it started, is what I want to say. Because lack and then prosperity begins, and then somebody either eclipses you from their life or leaves you. Somebody bites you. It's a venomous snake, right? It's either a third party or something like that. This is the after tarot, if you're wondering. All right. Yeah, something is about to end, right? So the 7 is about, like I said, getting bit or a third party or something that's unfavorable that happens. The Queen of Wands in the bottom right-hand corner tells me that it is the Queen of Wands that does the unfavorable thing. She does what she wants when she wants to do it. Doesn't check with you first. This person isn't someone who is really partnership-minded. This person is sort of out for themselves. and they're kind of looking for someone to bring the prosperity so they can be who they want to be, but they're not really going to check with you before they do that. If the owls here tell me that there is something that is transforming, and I feel it's the wait time because of the 7 of Pentacles. We have card number 12. This is transforming in December. It feels like somebody is going to go through some sort of a breakup in December, a breakup and a healing. Breakup due to someone else who either wasn't honest with you or someone who hurt you by putting you in a third party of sorts. Just listening. $37 is 1. Material and spiritual prosperity is to come in divine timing, and I'm going to fight for it. I don't think you know this is coming, though. I feel like divine timing is coming and that you do want the material and spiritual prosperity, Aries, but I don't feel like you know that it's coming. When it does come, you are going to love it so much that you're going to want to fight for it here, which is the 5 of Swords. I feel like you're making hard decisions based on... When divine timing does come, I feel like you are making some hard decisions, but the hard decisions that you're making, I feel, are going to give you some balance here. That you're going to be free to fight for a connection or something that is coming to you in divine timing, whether it's financial or whether you're sharing now financially or spiritually with somebody. You're going to be willing to fight for that. It's someone that you've been watching, possibly. Someone that you've been thinking about reuniting with for a while. Yeah. Someone who is the Lovers. Someone who is a choice in love for you. Someone who might be a soulmate. And I think it's a realization that you have here. Yeah, that you've been kind of harsh with this person. It's time to go. Right. Aries, let's talk about the sacral chakra here. What is ending or transforming in December? Feels like you're tired of waiting. So we've got the Page of Swords and the Magician. I feel like you have all the tools. You are feeling good. I feel like you're ready for the end and the new beginning. You have the tools to move forward. It does feel like you do want some sort of a partnership here, or you're looking at entertaining a partnership. Maybe someone who is really good at what they do. Somebody's coming by here and looking at the work after the person has left. There's tools on the bench. It's interesting that there's tools on the bench because there are tools on the bench, right? There are tools here. Yeah, I feel like there is somebody here feels like they now have the tools that they need to end something and move forward to some sort of a partnership where there's been one person missing because there's no one else here except the artwork and the one person. So it feels like this person has been wandering about hoping for a partnership, looking for a partnership. I don't know if that's you or them. And I feel like there's about to be someone that comes on the scene. It might be the Lover. Tell me about the prosperity that begins and ends, because it doesn't look like it looks like your perception of it, Aries, is that it's very prosperous, but it looks as though it is something that actually ends up not being as prosperous as you thought it was, and you end up healing from it. Tell me about this prosperity begins. It feels, why is it, well, I'm hearing a repeat. Why is it a repeat? It could be the repeat of a cycle. This could have maybe happened to you before, that you planted your investment with somebody and somebody took off with the money or took off and did what they wanted with the money. It feels like a repeat is what I want to say. This needs to be healed. The cycle of repeating needs to be healed. It's something that you need to take charge of, that you need to speak to someone about, because it feels like you do the same thing. You go in, you go in and you're like, I'm here, I'm going to save everybody. And then this person automatically just kind of falls off and does what they want while you're the one that's doing all the work to bring in whatever it is, whatever sort of prosperity that we're looking at here, whether it's money or love or material possessions, whatever it is there. It feels like a repeat cycle. So it feels like you know that it's bad. You already know that it's bad, but you get into the relationship anyway. You get, somebody who isn't necessarily concerned about your well-being. And I feel like the star tells me that you realize that this is a cycle that you have to heal, because people keep coming to you, and once you give them what they want, they leave. Tell me about the material and prosperity. Material and spiritual prosperity is in divine timing. Tell me about that. The Emperor. Okay. So for those of you who are on the path to being an emperor, I feel that when you do emperor up, that is going to be divine timing. That will happen in divine timing. And it's then that you'll be willing to share the prosperity that you have, willing to fight for something that's happening in divine timing, something that's very happy. What's happening in divine timing? There's going to be some sort of a connection here. The Four of Wands is telling me there's going to be some kind of connection here that is passionate and stable. You see it clearly now, and now you're willing to fight for it. The Emperor is coming in to fight for what's his. That's what I want to say. Woo. That actually gave me a little bit of chills. It was like somebody who's really in their badass energy is like, I'm going in to take care of it. I'm going to take charge of it. I'm going to make everybody bloody happy. And yeah, it feels like Emperor energy. Somebody is taking charge here. We have the Two of Wands. Yeah, it is time here, right? The Two of Wands is the place where you decide that it's time to do it differently than you ever did it before. And I feel like this is the place where you're making that decision. It feels like this person takes off with maybe your abundance, maybe not, but they do their own thing. They do things and then they tell you later. They have no regard for how you feel about the way that they live in the world. The Ace of Wands tells me that you are passionate, most passionate, more than anything, passionate about your healing and having balance in your life, making good decisions and having balance. I feel like something here doesn't necessarily work out here. Yeah, it ends up keeping you up at night. It's a connection that you thought was going to work, but it really doesn't. We have communication. Okay, so I feel like there is going to be some sort of a communication between you and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. There's going to be some communication because something ended, so something must begin. We're going to go into the extended, I think, and look at the communication. It's getting kind of long here already in the reading. So if you want to and you're interested to know what happens here, there is a partnership that's coming because there is communication from someone that possibly you thought had forgotten about you or lost their spark for you or no longer was attracted to you, something like that. This is the person who actually has ended something and is beginning something new. They're coming in to see maybe if you're still attracted to them, if you want a partnership, and we're going to talk about the communication, whatever's coming in that communication. It feels like somebody here that you have decided on in the month of December, maybe in the mid-month, it feels like it comes to an end, that it just wasn't a good match for you, keeps you up at night. I feel like you're most passionate about your healing, and this person, with them being in the Queen of Wands and the 7 card with the Serpent, they're not allowing you to rest. They're not allowing you to heal. They're not allowing you to be who you want. And I feel like you're most passionate about making decisions when you're in a balanced place. So I think you're waiting for the balance. I think that we're going to talk about the Emperor here. We will talk about you and the material and spiritual prosperity. When is that going down? When is divine timing? And yeah, I feel like you're ready to fight for some sort of connection. We'll talk about that a little bit too. We're of course going to add some more oracles on the top. We haven't even looked at why this new life is going to be happening in December. We'll clarify that as well. I'm going to go to the extension. If you're interested in coming by, I will be there. I'm going to go for now. Thank you, Aries. Love you guys. Out for now. Bye-bye.